All right. Beep. Welcome back to Word Flew Yours. My name is Jeff, and this is my director, Peanut. I wanted to introduce her as my emotional support cat, but it turns out that there is paperwork involved with that, so she is not my emotional support cat. Yet. Anyway, so I read Tender is the Flesh by Agustina. I am not even going to try to pronounce the name. The book was translated from Spanish. It starts with the book is translated from Spanish. It is about an unnamed virus comes and it wipes out the livestock that is used for meat production, such as chickens, cows, pigs, that kind of thing. And somehow humans overpopulate the earth. I don't think it ever explains why one is related to the other. But so instead of everyone becoming vegetarian, they start breeding humans as livestock to eat. Yeah, I so was not expecting that. I really need to start reading the blurbs of books before I read them. So they start breeding humans as livestock to eat. The whole book is about what happens in this slaughterhouse, meat processing plant. I'm not really sure the proper term for it. They detail what happens in these slaughterhouse / meat processing plants very descriptively, such as what happens, how you breed them, how you stud them out, how you vaccinate them so that they don't get sick, how they remove the vocal cords, because meat shouldn't talk is actually what it says. I don't know why I'm doing the air quotes. Peanut didn't read it, so it's fine. They never explain how one person was decided to be meat and another one wasn't. They don't explain any things as far as differentiating race or legal status, or if they used to be prisoners, or if anything. They do. They take great lengths to compare them to how we treat livestock today, which is how we genetically modify them to grow faster and such. And then they explain very detailed how they're slaughtered, how they're butchered, how they're processed, everything from how their limbs are removed to how their organs are removed, what they do with them. And they call them special meat. They even have grades, such as the elderly are the cheapest meat of all. The younger are worth more, and they go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And at one point, somebody gives a female to someone else, like a female who was used as livestock is given to someone else. She gets tied up and just sort of left in the barn as if she were an animal. The book is translated from Spanish, so the prose is very, this happened, then that happened, then that happened, then that happened, very non-flowery, non-poetic. This happened, then that. This happened, then that happened, then that happened. Here's a sample of the writing.
The female is watching him. He sees her there. She seems fascinated by the fire. He goes into the barn and she curls up in fright. He remains on his feet, swaying. The female trembles. And if he destroys her too? She's his, he can do whatever he wants. He can kill her, slaughter her, make her suffer. He picks up the axe. Looks at her silently. This female is a problem. He raises the axe. Then he moves closer and cuts the rope.
So, it gets the job done, but it gets the job done like an old pickup truck. I mean, it's not pretty. Because of how it was written, it was, there was this energy, or lack of energy, that About halfway through, I DNF'd the book. I just couldn't get through it. I called it as being DNF'd. My library loan ran out, and it wasn't on Kindle Unlimited, which meant I could put it on hold again, but I'd have to wait weeks to read it. I didn't feel like waiting weeks. I didn't feel like paying the money to actually finish it. So I got about halfway through and then DNF'd it. It just wasn't worth spending any more time on. So it was a disappointment because I had heard good things about it from the other booktubers. It had been in other videos. I put it on my TBR list because other booktubers really took to the book. So, but I mean, it could be. I couldn't tell because it was a translated work. I couldn't tell whether or not it was. The writing style was just the author's writing style, or if it's just how the Spanish language works and it was directly translated. Or see, I don't know. This is the first book the first translated book I've read that I've known about. So I don't know, but books are entertainment. At the end of the day, books are entertainment, and I just wasn't entertained enough to finish it. What are you gonna do? You might, if you've read it and have a different opinion of it, or if you have recommendations for other translated works, leave them in the comments below. Until next time, may all the books you read be filled with enjoyment and insight. Thanks a lot. Bye.